once again, people, and welcome to what looks like the final Aftershock Toolbox level, at least for this section. There might be more buried elsewhere, but for the time being, it seems like this is the last level specifically made for the Aftershock Toolbox, with this particular, texture set and designed specifically just for the Aftershock Toolbox. And what a better way to end on than with a McDonald's advertisement! Yes, people, welcome to BIGMAC! Yes, with a curious name. And, yeah, that's about all I really know about it. Let's actually load up this thing. And oh my god, there's error messages. Oh god, the error messages are crazy. Oh my god, get me out of this thing. Okay, we're out of it. Now let's try to do it again. Brilliant. Okay, we're back in it. And in 1 minute, we've already gotten BIGMAC. And cheese. And it looks very Q2-y. For some reason, these purple textures just remind me of, like, it's bringing back, like, my PTSD or whatnot to remember all this purpleness. Oh my god, the purpleness everywhere. Death and pain. Here's some shells. That'll be useful to kill things in a very linear level. Oh god, this corridor is a linearness. This is a horrible mixture. I really hate this level already. I've just started it and I'm already paranoid of this thing because it feels like I'm back in Q2. What is this, like a return to Q2, the final mission? Oh my god, it feels very bare bones already. I'm not sure I like this mission. Oh my god, what is this, a gallery? This is weird. I'm not sure I like this area. Just because it seems like it's rather hard to control where I'm going. And are those beds? Oh god, there's laser beams everywhere! We need to control this corridor here. There we are, now we have a corridor. We can actually deal with these enforcers that try and come and kill me. Are you good? I decided to do that too, because look at the craziness that's coming at me. Alright. Quick in here. Whatever this is. Oh god! Oh god! It looks like we're in some little room. This is a very curious looking room. It has like little nice lounge chairs and it's a nice little fancy area. Rather well designed, honestly. In grand scheme of things, this is rather well designed. Now, I could use some health or guns. Okay, yellow armor. That's a plus. Yellow armor is the key to everything I had held dear. Okay, well now we're getting to a lot of rooms, which is good because singular rooms is what I need at this moment to stay alive. Ooh, a pentagram! I could use this! Time to just move around a little bit. And I found my way to the silver keycard apparently. Interesting. Not even sure where I am, but silver keycard, yay! What's in here? Thank God. Okay, one ogre out of the way. One more doorway free from death. Now we just have a bunch more enemies to go. Okay, well this looks like some ledge I can't really get on top of. Okay, so it looks like this isn't the way to go, besides just to control the area from these two. So yeah, what's this way? Oh my god, graphical glitches! So as you see, we can come back in here. This is basically where we're coming from. Here's where all the doors were. We do have down here to check out. And thank God we got a super nail gun, which doesn't really help too much, but it's a gun. Take out that grunt. Slowly trying to pot shot our way to victory. Oh God! I could really use a double-barreled shotgun actually, game. You know, I can actually use health. Sinks, little random containers. Where are they? Where are they? I hear them. Random bathroom everywhere, but where is the health? Oh look, a fiend! It's a bit alternative to health. A giant killer fiend. And no reward for killing him. I feel like a winner. Okay, and this one leads to the grenade launcher. That's convenient. At least this is another gun. Still, I would really like some, you know, health. Where is the health, people? Like, that's a major mystery. Where is the health? Okay, now we need to move back and make sure we do not die to these guys. Okay, one more night out of the way. I see, this is another door leading back to where we were before. Very chaotic and interconnected, like... Ah, God! And luckily for me, health. Thank God. Okay, so we got some health out of this mess. That's exactly kind of what I needed at this point, so... Fighting something somewhere is very, very beneficial to me. I see another health and more things dead. It seems this is like the outer area. That's some type of teleporter or something. That goes somewhere. Before I go in there though, I don't really trust that. Because that might lead to the exit or who knows where. So I just want to clean out the area. This is the area overlooking where I was before, so we kind of found a way to circle around. Very nice. This area has a lot of walls, which serve little to no point. Brilliant indeed. One more enemy closer to victory. So we still have like 20 enemies to go or so, but at least we're clearing out the area. Here's a random little doorway that leads nowhere. I see, this is the area beside this area. Sorry, we interconnected these two areas. Let's go this way, I guess. No real order or organization to this place, so might as well go rocket launcher. I can use that. I see another teleporter. Okay, so we have 2 teleporters in this area. Mysterious teleporters, I do not know where they go. It's never a good sign. Okay, but we do have this done. Now, there's this door. And as you see, we're just tackling down one by one until we eventually get down to this area. Now I'm assuming the way I came from is over that way. So, oh look, a knight stuck in the wall. Easy enough to kill. Nice little sink texture, actually. That ain't too shabby, actually, right there. Very fancy. Wonder if this is what this is supposed to be, like McDonald's or something like that. I have no idea. Where did I come from? I have no idea where I'm kind of going at this point. Okay, here's where I killed the ogre, so... Here's just a little safe room with 25 health. Well, that's convenient. Thank God I came in here. Now for the mystery of the day. Where in God's name am I going? Looks like I'm going this way. But there's more health. Seems like now I'm getting a bunch of health suddenly. Very convenient. Oh God! This is why I was getting a bunch of health. Well, at least now we tackled one more guy. Where's this go? Hi. Get some more ammo, so we are not about to die. Now, I think this is where it was before, yep. Owie! He learned! Okay, well, as long as the shambler doesn't chase me down, I should be good. And as you see, we've kind of cleared out this whole area. We also have this wide area, which doesn't seem to serve much of a purpose, besides to be a large area of nothingness. Oh look, I found a doorway looking into the shambler area. Okay, there's a shambler still in there, but at least the grunt's gone. Not sure I have my priorities straight, but okay, 2 more enemies. Now I just noticed the need to kill the shambler. Where did they get the quad damage? Okay, it looks like this just helped me live. Quick, to the health! Two more down, out of the way. Let me guess, there's 2 more over here or something? No. Then where are the other enemies? This is where I came from, I think. Yep, this is the outer area here. Got the Thunderbolt, so that's not a problem. Have every gun but the double-barreled shotgun. The one gun I would kind of like to have, but yeah, it looks like at this point I'm not really having many problems with enemies. Like, most things are pretty much dead. In fact, there's only 2 enemies in this map remaining that I'm not really sure where they are. Once again, we're on a hunt to find enemies! What a fun hunt this is going to be. If I were a magical enemy and I was hidden somewhere in this giant freaking map, where in God's name would I hide myself? Well, let's go and check out the teleport areas. Because there's 2 of them. This was totally pointless! Seriously, what purpose did this serve? Why does this exist? Oh, the humanity of it all! Why? What? Why does this exist? I can't even begin to understand people. Okay, so we have that problem, and we also have the problem of me not really knowing where exactly the last 2 freaking enemies in this map are. They suggest that there's some area of this map that I haven't seen, which is very, very likely when, you know, have all these rooms everywhere. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure I was pretty thorough about it all. I probably wasn't. There's probably one stupid room that I'm missing, that I'm just missing somewhere in this place, but... What's this? What's this? Why is this here? Why can't I see them, but they can't... Why is there an invisible wall here? People? There's an invisible wall, and there's 2 enemies. And, I can't hit them. What is this? What is this? Why does this exist? Of anything in the world, why? People. Okay, I think the game's designed to mess with me now, because seriously, what is this and why? Why is there a random invisible wall? Was this always here? I don't recall this. I think I would have noticed this before. But also, one, there doesn't seem to be any level exit. There was a level exit last time. Actually, I think I could shoot through walls with a thunderbolt, right? Yeah, but it's not even killing them. Look at this. Maybe if I try and shoot him from the other way? Maybe? I'm trying to figure out where exactly they kind of are. Yeah, they're right around here. So if I hug this wall and like just run alongside it, like strafe, I should be able to hit something. And I'm not hitting anything. Like, they're totally perfectly protected. Yeah, and I also don't know if there's a level exit. There was one in the last level, by the way, people. It turned out it was behind a movable wall area. Okay, let's see here. Let's restart the level. No target. So that way I can move around safely. I won't no-clip because I want to see what I trigger. I'm curious what exactly caused that to happen, because I don't know if that actually was there to begin with. You know, I think I would have noticed that. Yeah, see, this was closed to begin with. And then, if you walk here, it's like this raises. And, well, that's about it now, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like it raises, but it doesn't. And as you see, it doesn't really work. Yeah, it's totally useless. So it's there, but also you don't really get the ability to really do anything with it. You don't get the ability to kill the grunts behind it. And there's no point anyway. If you get back here, there's just these two grunts in a little hidden trap area that, you know, doesn't work. So hooray for a very buggy, broken level. But, yeah. Final level of this whole thing, I guess. Not the greatest of levels we've seen, definitely. Not the worst either. You know, it's definitely less offensive than some have been. You know, there's no real spam and movable walls here or all that. You know, it feels more like a Q2-ish type level of move room to room. So it's more like Asmo or something like that, except, you know, without the annoying movable walls and other things that have kind of become a staple of this. So, yeah, needless to say, it's a little bit less offensive in certain ways. But it does have the annoying two grunt issue there. I'm not sure if there's a way to fix that. I'll have to, like, tear apart, like, the file and see if there's actually a way to, like, fix that, but I'm not really sure. It seems like, yeah, it's just a weird issue that occurs. Doesn't seem like there's any level edits or really any way to really to this, so it's just one of those generic move room to room levels. But I will say the architecture is relatively nice. It does have a nice little bit of polish that you wouldn't see in like Q2. It actually has like furniture, it has sinks, it has little details here and there, which isn't the most noticeable. It's really not the most fancy architecture in the world, but it is a thing, and so therefore it is a bit more appreciative than your normal thing. I don't know why the outside was like so wide. It feels like the outside was like overly long for no real reason. And yeah, it feels like it mostly was just navigated room to room in a rather tedious level design. Like this room navigation design just never was a fun thing. And it was always a problem with Doom too. So it really has been going on for a long time. But yeah, needless to say, this is like calling back to a lot of those Doom levels. It's rather boring like all those Doom levels would have been. And yeah, it just kind of feels like another level to kind of be more filler. And that's pretty much all we can really expect at this point. Filler level! So, yeah, not really the most climatic of levels for the final level of this thing, but then again, there really was no sequential order to these at all. There really wasn't any, purpose to really doing them or anything. So, yeah, hidden shovelware levels, amazing. So, yeah, with that in mind, I guess next we'll be checking out whatever else is in, like, the Aftershock Toolbox. Might be more, editors. I think there's some other different little, things or whatnot coming up that I'll have to look into. But yeah, there's still a lot more to go with the Aftershock Toolbox. So I'm not entirely done at all with that. I'm just done with this specific set of levels that are that I've basically been working on for like the last month or so. So yeah, needless to say, we have been making progress, and we finally made it to like a new area. I guess for the Aftershock Toolbox, and we've ended up with like 20 new levels worth of content, 18 of which will work in GLQuake, and therefore could be useful in like a co-op server. Now, I'm not sure how good your co-op server would be if you use some of these maps, because certain of these maps, if you try and exit the level, will result in you basically being booted to the console. And the problem with that in particular is the fact of the matter that it makes it so you cannot get to any other level. Basically, when you get an error message in Quake, for any level whatsoever, it basically closes up the entire server. So, yeah, you can't just, like, change level to another level, if I'm correct. If you get an error message for a level, I think it's pretty much game over. I may be wrong about that, but from past experience of what I remember, I haven't really tested it recently to confirm. But, yeah, it definitely seems like a thing that, like, just totally closes out the level, and therefore it's not the most reliable of packs for its levels. But you do get some levels with new content, which of course can allow for some more playability. You get levels like BIGMAC here, which don't have level exits and thus won't cause issues, at least like that. But on the other hand, there also seems to be more broken levels this time around. Like, I think in these last 20 levels, we've kind of gotten a record for the most to have had, like, broken issues or, like, incomplete things. Like, until this point, we've had a lot of functionally playable levels. Like, very rarely did we see something that was impossible to complete in some way. And suddenly now we've been getting all these more severe issues. So it's rather weird in a way that the fact of the matter that we've had like Q2, we've had certain packs like that, but it's this one in particular that's really pulling this unable to fully complete type situation. But yeah, needless to say, it stinks when these occur. I really hate it, whatnot. And I really hate when things like last time occur, whereby I can't find the level exit because it's behind a movable wall that expects you to kind of know where exactly it is. But yeah, definitely not the most fun of level packs. I definitely won't go out of my way and say this has been a really amazing experience, one thing to die for, all that. Honestly, if I really had to say one I preferred, I would say like Dark Hour. Dark Hour had a much better abstract design, stood out a lot more in my head, for everything. Even at the Aftershock levels themselves, like, especially when you're talking like episode 1, that stuff was really stand out as well, and in a very different way. Those actually felt like professional levels. These, on the other hand, definitely are very unmemorable because of their level names being totally forgettable. The fact of the matter that it's, they have key cards, but they're, like, totally useless on the levels. The fact of the matter that everything has, like, stuff falling out of them, so they're even more imbalanced than they should be. It just is a very broken and shoddy experience in a way. It's definitely, you can tell this wasn't something that was made to be like the main feature of anything. This was buried within the Aftershock Toolbox. You actually have to go out of your way to hunt it down in order to know these are even here. It's not included like anywhere on like the disc. You wouldn't like notice like on the cover at least that there are any new levels included in this, because this isn't an advertised thing. So yeah, you can see this as kind of like a little bonus feature and some additional extra levels levels just because, but this is definitely not the main feature of this one, and you can kind of see why, because these levels really are nothing spectacular. Even in terms of like all the Quake levels we've checked out, these just do not stand out in any way. They feel very squarish and very doomy in a way. It's very weird to say, but I get weird Doom vibes from playing all this stuff. Like, it feels like I could be replaying Doom with the way it's trying to design its mechanics, with the way it's revolved around using a lot of movable walls. It's just very Doom-oriented, and I'm definitely not a fan of going back to the Doom mechanics. I'm fine with not having to deal with that. So, needless to say, this has been relatively a low point, I think, in this whole series. Just for the amount of broken stuff, just for like the tedious and boring levels. Definitely nothing really stand out here, really. Like I said, if I really did have to say a benefit of this pack, it's the fact of the matter that, especially coming off Aftershock, it has a lot more gameplay. As I keep saying, these levels actually have, in every single one, single-player content. That's something you couldn't say for Aftershock. Half the levels in Aftershock you couldn't really do anything with, and they were totally useless. So having 20 levels that are actually 20 levels of playability is something. You know, I mean, I guess you could say 19 levels because, whatchamacallit, there was that one level that basically just, like, crashes, you know, what was it called, like abandonware or bandware or something like that. But yeah, basically that one was like, it crashed after like the beginning room. But even that one had a little bit of playability. And each one of these levels did have some gameplay to some extent. It did have enemies to fight. It did have a level to actually tackle things in. It may have not been the best of experiences, but it did actually add gameplay. And when, like I said over and over, when it comes to Quake, you need a lot of filler because there's only so much good quality stuff. And when you're talking about killing just a simple afternoon, that simple afternoon, you can blast through a lot of levels when you think of how Quake can kind of be, especially when you're talking co-op servers with someone else, because that just takes the initial level, multiplies it by 2. The fact of the matter that co-op also has it so anything you kill basically is dead when you respawn, so basically you never can really lose and you're always moving forward. There's like no risk whatsoever to dying in co-op, so you can basically take as many risks as you want with almost a definite amount of ammo, because even when you die you basically end up getting like a severe amount of ammo again. So yeah, needless to say, you end up very overpowered in co-op. It's not really the most challenging or difficult of experiences, which is perfectly fine. But like I said, when it comes down to it, that means that you're going to be flying through Quake levels. And so therefore, the best way to really tackle that is with a bunch of shovelware levels. And so while 20 levels is probably not like the most massive thing in the world, it does go a long way to adding extra content. Especially when you think of like certain levels like Blaze 1 that are going to take a little bit of time to complete. They won't be completed in like 5 minutes. So, needless to say, there are some nice, at the least, filler levels for your co-op server. Which, like I said, at this point in time is relatively nice when you don't have many levels that fill this role as nicely as these would. You have like Q2 levels, but the fact of the matter that those end up feeling like the same thing over and over and over is kind of problematic. At least the benefit with these is these all look different and distinct. You know you're in a different level each time. So that is a bit of a benefit to this pack. And also another benefit, you don't have to load up like Aftershock specifically. You don't have to like load up some expansion pack. See, that's the biggest problem with like trying to use Armagon or Disillusion or any of that stuff, any of like the more modern stuff. The problem with all that is you end up needing to load it up manually as opposed to just having it conveniently loaded as another map within the map list. So you end up kind of benefiting if you use a lot of these shovelware maps, just getting some extra filler for your co-op server without needing to interrupt your game flow, as long as everyone has some maps, granted. If not everyone has the maps, of course someone's just going to be booted out of the server, but if everyone has the maps, you end up getting a nice flow given to your co-op server. And that really, at the end of the day, is really the best benefit I can really say for these. If you're talking about single player, or if you're talking about in the grand scheme of things, no, this really wasn't the most major of things. But in terms of just adding some filler, this really has gone a long way, whereby, like, the Aftershock levels, while they stood out a lot more, definitely felt like they were usually a lot shorter, a lot quicker, and because of that, you ended up with a lot less content. And because of that, you'd end up flying through them and feeling like, what now? At least with this, I end up having a bunch more that really means that if I had like a co-op server running, I wouldn't have to worry so much about like running out of levels as immediately. It's still bound to happen very, very quickly, but this at least will tear down at least maybe another half an hour to an hour. So that is beneficial at the very least. Anyway, there's really not much more to say here. These levels are very bare bones. They're not even, like I said, the main advertisement of this, this whole thing. Really, when you talk about the biggest thing for the Aftershock Toolbox, it's more about the editors and all the tools that basically come with it, as opposed to the levels. And given the fact that they're very standalone levels that really don't really have like their own campaign, they're really broken and buggy, you can really see these are levels that are bound to be overlooked. And for good reason, honestly. There's really nothing you're missing majorly by skipping over all of these. But at the same time, they are existent, they are useful as filler levels, and they are just extra content. If you're looking for stuff that happens to be, like in that 1996 time period, that will work well for original DOS Quake. Anyway, that's really all I really have to say. Thank you all for watching. It's been an adventure, and I shall see you all, I guess, with something else. See you all then.